On today's episode, we're going to learn how to bring more wildness into your life and how that can bring you more purpose, belonging, and vitality. Welcome back to the Living with a Wild Heart channel, the channel where you can learn ecotherapy practices and tips to live a more wild and natural life. And today we're going to be talking about cultivating our inner wildness through developing a relationship with nature, learning how to live an embodied life, following our passions, and becoming unstoppable. By becoming wild again, we're stepping back into relationship with the natural world. To our earliest ancestors, they used to have a living relationship with all things, one where they could communicate to the world and the world could communicate back to them. When we see the beauty of a flower and we offer our gratitude and thanksgiving to it, or when we pick a flower or an edible plant and we ask permission to pick it and we wait and listen with our hearts, these are ways that we can be in conversation again with the wild world. The world around us constantly is inspiring us, giving us messages, speaking to us. And we too can join that conversation and begin to listen again. This is one of the ways that we can cultivate wildness. Human beings can be very thought-centered. Now, another way to cultivate wildness is to live a more embodied life. And that means turning down our thoughts and listening more to what our bodies are telling us. What is your body physically telling you? What do you feel? What kind of emotions do you feel in the moment? What are your senses telling you? And what does your intuition tell you? The natural world is constantly bringing information into our bodies through our five senses. And by staying tuned into that, it helps us to remain present to the world and what's going on. When we remain tuned into our bodies, we receive important information coming from our body. How are our feet? How does our back feel in this moment? What does my stomach feel like? Another thing to be tuned into is what your heart is telling you. What kind of emotions are you feeling in this moment? Every moment not only is colored by our senses and our thoughts, but also by our feelings. And so it's very important to stay tuned in to our hearts and to our feelings. And finally, our intuitions are an important voice to listen to. That quiet voice saying yes or no, leading us through our life. Intuition helps us to stay on our wild path. Another aspect of becoming wild is to live your passions and also your purpose into the world. The world right now needs your gifts more than ever. And when you follow your passion and find your purpose, it unlocks something wild inside of you, filled with power that can help other people. Finally, by tapping into the powers and energies of the world, we align ourselves with these great, massive forces and beings. And when we act in right relationship with the world, when we live in right relationship with the world, we become unstoppable because we're aligned with these massive energies. And we can feel the hand of the mountains and the winds and the deer and our ancestors on our back as we move through life, reminding us that we're never alone. Now, when I say wild, I don't mean dangerous, out of control, or self-destructive. There are forces in the world that seek to diminish our wildness, forces that seek to domesticate us, and that want to keep us addicted to media and to consumerism, unaware of our purpose in life. There are many ways to cultivate wildness in your life. Some of them might be like going outside regularly, walking in nature. Others might be going to a static dance, singing to the moon, walking barefoot, expressing your emotions, having a ceremony to release your grief, foraging for wild plants, learning wilderness survival skills or earth living skills, and many of the exercises that you see on the videos on this channel. All can help to bring more wildness into your life. Another important practice in cultivating your wildness is to reject all things that make you feel small and disconnect you from the world. Want to cultivate more wildness in your life? Subscribe to our Living with a Wild Heart channel, where you can see more ecotherapy practices and tips to live a more wild and natural life. Thanks for watching, and stay wild.